You're now watching Qnews, and here are the top stories for this hour. Hamas delegation has met in Cairo to discuss the ceasefire agreement and a phased detainee exchange. During the talks, the delegation praised Egypt's role, particularly in opposing displacement plans, and welcomed Arab Summit's initiative for Gaza reconstruction. Hamas called for full implementation of the agreement, the reopening of crossings, and an unrestricted flow of aid into Gaza. The movement also approved the formation of a community support committee to manage Gaza's affairs until Palestinian reconciliation is achieved. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office has confirmed that Israel will send a delegation to Doha to advance ceasefire negotiations. Meanwhile, Hamas spokesman Abdulatif al-Qanawa expressed optimism about progress in the second phase of ceasefire talks, highlighting ongoing mediation efforts by Egypt and Qatar. The Egyptian State Information Service stated that Cairo is engaging in intensive talks with all parties to expedite progress on the second phase of the truce, with high-level Egyptian meetings involving Hamas, US, and Qatari officials continuing. Germany, Italy, and the United Kingdom have voiced their support for an Arab-backed plan aimed at rebuilding Gaza. In a joint statement, the foreign ministers described the plan as a realistic path to Gaza's reconstruction, stating that if implemented, it could bring rapid and sustainable improvement. Arab leaders has been rejected by Israel and the United States President Donald Trump, who has proposed an alternative vision that critics say could lead to the displacement of the Palestinian people. Gaza is facing a severe shortage of essential supplies after 7 days of Israel blocking all deliveries of food, fuel, and medicine, with basic becoming increasingly scarce and unaffordable. Many Palestinians relies. The United Nations and other humanitarian organizations have warned of an imminent famine crisis. Earlier, the World Food Programme stated that its food supplies in Gaza are only enough to keep public kitchens and bakeries running for less than 2 weeks. Israeli forces have fired live bullets and stun grenades during a raid on the village of Burqa west of Nablus in the northern occupied West Bank. The soldiers closed military checkpoints south of the occupied West Bank, preventing thousands of Palestinians from reaching their homes. They also closed the entrances to several Palestinian villages near Bethlehem. And in Beit Rima, near Ramallah, Israeli forces seized a number of Palestinian vehicles. The Israeli aggression on the northern West Bank province of Tulkarm has entered its 42nd consecutive day. Israeli forces have reinforced their presence, displacing over 21,000 from Tulkarm and Nur Shams as homes are destroyed or seized. UNRWA calls the camps uninhabitable, marking the worst assault since the Second Intifada and the largest West Bank displacement since 1967, with 40,000 forced to flee. Meanwhile, Israeli forces are continuing their offensive in Jenin in the occupied West Bank for the 48th consecutive day. The Palestinian Information Center reported refugee camp from broadcasting the call to prayer, despite it being the holy month of Ramadan. The Israeli operation in Jenin began on January 21st, days after the ceasefire in Gaza, with dozens killed, hundreds of homes destroyed, and thousands of families displaced. Syria's Ministry of Education has announced the suspension of classes in Tartus and on Sunday and Monday due to the ongoing security instability. Additionally, Homs University postponed all remaining exams this week, rescheduling them for March 16. Reports indicate that clashes in Syria's coastal region following Thursday's attacks by forces linked to the former Bashar al-Assad regime against the transitional government. The Israeli military announced airstrikes and ground operations targeting locations in Syria. The Israeli military said that it will continue its defensive activities to protect Israel and its residents. Reports from Damascus indicate that Israeli forces are advancing towards Rasm al-Halabi village in central Qnews in Syria. And this concludes our top stories for this hour. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates here on Q News.